Hi and welcome back. Today, for the first time, we have a guest on the channel. This is Jenny from Medieval Food with Jenny.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us a bit about what you do?
Thank you, yes. So I run online food pages called Medieval Food with Jenny, and I look up manuscript sources for recipes, try and get right back to the original recipes. And unlike many academics who just look at them as an academic thing, I actually cook the recipes. So today I've brought a number of sweet treats that somebody like me would have cooked for somebody like you.
So what are we starting off with?
So I thought we would start off with, actually in the jug, it's not a sweet, it's a Hypocras, which is a spiced medieval wine. Shall I pour you some?
Yes,
and we can talk about
absolutely.
it. Okay. So medieval spiced wines like Hypocras were a thing for centuries actually.
Yeah.
There's not really a date for them. What's interesting about them is that they appeared in medical textbooks.
Yeah.
So these are one of the few recipes where there's actually really specific, a recipe with volumes and amounts and ingredients. Most medieval recipes are quite vague in terms of measurements.
Yeah.
But things like Hypocras, we do have quite detailed recipes. So this one is a white wine. What we still have obviously is mulled wine at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a relic, if you like, of medieval Hypocras, and it's generally red. But white wine is lovely with the same spices in it. So this has cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, all the usual things you would put in your mulled wine. Put it in white wine, leave it overnight, and then chill it.
Oh.
And it's really lovely. I hope you'll like it.
So it's not cooked?
No, it's just left overnight to soak,
Yeah.
and then you filter it until it's clear. So
Cheers.
let's start with this. Let's not take too much before we've spoken about everything else.
That's really lovely.
It's nice, isn't it?
Is it sweetened at all?
It is sweetened slightly, yes. I put some sugar in
Are you
it.
counting sugar as a spice?
Yes, absolutely. So sugar is one of the spices. We can talk about that a lot more
Yeah.
because obviously everything here
Yeah.
is made with sugar or honey. And sugar especially was very expensive, very
Yeah.
exclusive in medieval times, as you know. So, bottoms up.
And what is the medical use of Hypocras?
I'm actually not sure. I think it's probably warming. The spices are health giving.
Yeah.
Medieval health obviously was all about your humours. So you have to balance out your humours. So if
Yeah.
you're melancholic, you need something choleric. If you're cold and damp, you need something hot and warm. So it's all to do with the balance.
Yeah.
So the spices in this would be very warming.
Yeah.
So it was probably used to balance out if you were cold, not literally cold, but you know what I mean in terms of your medical status. If you were cold, you would have hot spices to help you.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know if it was a specific cause. I think it was just a health giving.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that red kirtles were also considered warming, which is why it's the number one colour that a lot of kirtles and petticoats were as we move into the
That's
15th,
really
16th
interesting. I
century.
didn't know that
Yeah.
happened with clothes as well. Yeah, it happens with all the
Yeah.
food. All the food. Medieval people's idea of health food, they did have one. It's very different to ours,
Yeah.
obviously.
Would you imagine that a high status diet was less healthy than a lower status? Not accounting for food scarcity, but in terms of sugar
In that exactly what you just said. I mean, the idea of poor people in medieval times being in any way healthy with their food really is you ate what you could get.
Yeah.
But certainly, if you were high status, you would have much more sugar, meat, wine, these things. Whether you had them in, some people would have had them in abundance that could have been unhealthy. So generally, but mostly you had more choice if you were rich, that's the thing. Even with vegetables, even with healthy meat, you certainly just had more choice. If you were poor, you literally just ate what you get.
Yeah.
There's accounts in the 14th century of people putting grit into their flour because they didn't have enough to make bread.
Yeah.
So a lot of people look at food and think, oh, it looks really all natural, it must be very healthy. Up to a point, yes, but then not necessarily. If you were poor, you just ate what you could get.
That makes sense. Do we want to move on to...
I think if we start over here and work our way across. So this first dish, these are called Spanish pastries. And despite the name, they're actually from a German cookbook, and they are the most modern of the dishes that we have here. So these actually date from the 1550s. So slightly, if you're going to be strict about what's medieval, it's probably slightly too late. But I've brought them along. These are short crust pastry which you layer with butter and ground almonds and sugar, and then you roll them up and you cut them and you bake them. The first time I made these, I actually bought a sheet of short crust pastry in the shop just to give it a go, and they were all right. And I've tried now. I've made the mistake of trying something new when I brought them for you to
Yeah.
try. So I've tried a different pastry. It hasn't quite worked, so you can try them. I think they're a little dry. And this is now a work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the best pastry to do this. What's interesting about this dish though is this idea of layering it with butter
Yeah.
and rolling it up. It's like an early way of laminating pastry. So puff pastry dates from the 17th century, so it's not a thing in medieval cookery. But we do see these recipes earlier that involve layering pastry with butter, and I think that's what these are. It's an early attempt to get that lamination that we see in later puff pastry. So I think that's what these are. By all means, take one and have a go.
Take this.
I'll take one as well.
So sort of a proto-croissant almost?
Hopefully. Yeah, the pastry is a little short. Eating on camera. But you should be able to taste the almonds and the sugar.
Here we go. Didn't do a neat job of that.
They taste good. I think the pastry needs a little bit of work though.
They really remind me of Christmas cookies that my mom used to make.
Oh, fab.
They're these sort of heart-shaped almond Christmas cookies from a German recipe. It really reminded me of that.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like them. I will work on improving them. Maybe next summer I'll bring better ones to a show.
Well, they're lovely, but I'm biased because I love almond.
There you go. Well, there's plenty of almonds. Again, in rich people's food, almonds were imported. They cost a fortune. But they are everywhere in this food, and we'll come back. There's more there. We'll come back to them in a bit as well.
Whereabouts would they have been imported from?
That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure where almonds came from originally. I was going to be like, the USA, that's where they come from now. I don't actually know. I mean, most things would have come from originally Asia or Sub-Saharan Africa. We imported some spices from there. I will find out, and I'll let you, if you want to know. Yeah.
I should have asked when we were talking about the Hypocras, but do you know where wine would have come from?
Oh, wine came from all over. Wine was imported from France, from Europe. I don't think there was much within Britain itself, but certainly it was imported from all over the winemaking regions of Europe for sure. There is a very funny story about laws that were in place to not sell spoiled wine. In England especially, there were laws forbidding. As soon as you tapped a barrel of wine, it started to oxidise and started to go off. And there's a story in a book called Spice, it's very, very funny, that said that there was a wine cellar in London in the 15th century and he had spoiled wine, and it was so bad that he got a special dispensation to sell it to the Scots because nobody else would drink it, but the Scots would drink it. So it's one of my favourite medieval wine stories.
From what I've seen of Scottish reenactors at events.
There you go. We will even drink the spoiled wine. So if we move on, if you want to try something else now, this is a really interesting one.
This is the one I'm slightly scared of.
Don't be scared. This is candied horseradish, which is the reason I made it is because it sounds so odd. This is from a Catalonian collection from the 14th century, which is all to do with making sweets, making confits. So it's really sticky. It's basically, you chip up a horseradish into these sticks, you boil it for a bit, and then you boil it in honey. So this is honey rather than sugar. And it reduces down into basically toffee covered horseradish. I'm going to have to lift this over, I think, because it's very sticky.
That's
so
fair.
Try and take a piece.
You know how brave I feel.
It will probably all come out in a lump. I'll try and...
Ha! I did it.
There you go. And it will stick your teeth together as well. It's very toffee-like. There we go. Also a bit.
I've also seen candied orange peel.
Yeah.
What else was this process used for?
Well, many things were candied. Funnily enough, a lot of vegetables. Yes. And a lot of fruit, but it's quite obviously you need so much sugar.
Yeah.
That really this was the top of the tree for food. You could candy, like comfits were made again, coating sugar and fat, so I'm waiting for you to try it. Totally stick your teeth together now.
They are sticking my teeth together.
But you don't get any of the spice. Excuse me, speaking with my mouth. It doesn't have a kick that horseradish would have. It has just like a little toffee.
A really interesting savoury flavour along with the sweet, but I'm not really getting the spice, no.
If you were to take a bigger bit as well, sometimes you get the texture, it's like the fibrous texture of the horseradish, but you really don't get any of the horseradish taste.
I feel like I'm almost getting a turnip note.
That makes sense. It does
But
beg
not
the
in a bad
question,
way.
why would you use the horseradish if you're not getting the horseradish kick? Why use it? But maybe that's it. Maybe it is just the texture of it that they've gone for. But it really is just like a little toffee stick. What do you think though?
I actually really like it.
There you go.
I was nervous about it being spicy. It's a strange flavour for a modern palate. It's not what I'd expect from a modern sweet, but it's really nice.
Good. Oh, good.
And I did like the texture as well.
The next one that I've brought, you're going to be very familiar with. This is medieval gingerbread. And I bring this to most of the shows that we do. So this is from a cookbook called the Forme of Cury, which is dated around 1390, which is the earliest known English language collection of recipes, and it's thought to be from the household of Richard II.
Yeah.
So it's not baked, it's not like a modern gingerbread.
Yeah.
It's breadcrumbs mixed with honey and cinnamon. Oddly, no ginger. There's no ginger in the recipe.
Yeah.
Nobody knows if that's a mistake or an oversight or why it's called gingerbread when there's no ginger in it. And mine has a little bit of black pepper in it, which just gives it a little kick, but it shouldn't be too spicy.
Yeah.
So if you want to, let me.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
It's quite sticky.
And this almost looks more like a fudge or a pâté than a gingerbread. You were saying about when you take it to shows in Glasgow.
Yes, so it's got red food colouring in it as well, which originally would probably have been sandalwood. I don't have sandalwood, so when I make it, I just put some artificial red food colouring in it. And when I took it to a show in Glasgow, these little squares of sort of pink, everyone thought it was square sausage, like Lorne sausage. Everyone's like, is that sausage? I'm like, no, it's gingerbread. So I'll try a little bit as well.
This one I knew going in that I would like.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with cinnamon. Oh, nice. I mixed the black pepper and long pepper to give it a wee bit. I think long pepper feels a bit spicier to me. So
I do really like that a lot of the historical gingerbreads I've tried have a bit more kick than modern.
Definitely.
It's funny because people really don't imagine European food to be heavily spiced or spicy.
Yeah. People always seem to be surprised at the variety. This is why I like to cook a real range of things. Some of the ingredients surprise people, but certainly the range of tastes, like you say, I think people think it's all just cabbages and turnip stew. And it's really not, especially if you were rich. The variety and the flavour profiles that you could achieve were quite something. And I love that. In terms of spice, obviously there was no chilli yet, but pepper and mustard are really the two things. Things like horseradish that would give your food a bit of a kick. So I make good use of black pepper.
Yeah. So from a modern point of view, this feels very seasonal, very fitting for this time of year. But was it a Christmas thing medievally?
Certainly in the recipe collections, there's no indication that it was specifically a Christmas food. I think at Christmas, if you were having your feasts, it's the sort of thing that would appear on your table. It's a lovely sweetmeat that you would put on your table, definitely. But no, there's no indication in the recipe collections that it's specifically for Christmas. Like you say now, gingerbread is very associated with Christmas. So it would have been served at any big feast like that probably. But no, not specifically a Christmas thing.
Have you come across any specific Christmas dishes from the period?
There are Christmas pies go back, so it's more Tudor, and the sort of precursor to our mince pies. Were called shred pies or mutton pies or Christmas pies. Yeah. And they tended to be like a big pie though, with the mincemeat in it. And in these days, obviously, mincemeat had the meat in it as well as the dried fruit and the spices. And actually, the mince pies that I make still have meat in them as well. And it's lovely. So things like that. There are some winter specific Christmas pies. Yeah. So the next dish that I thought we would look at is this one here. So this is white tortellini. So it's 14th century and it's from Venice specifically. So it is a pasta. It's filled with hazelnuts, almonds and sugar and dusted with a little powdered sugar as well. So
that sounds lovely.
Help yourself.
I don't know, something about these reminds me of cannoli.
Yeah. I guess.
Is this pasta dough?
Yes.
Did you use...
It's got saffron in it for a bit of colour and flour and I think 1 egg. So just a standard sort of pasta dough,
Really nice. How are these cooked?
Fried. So you just make the fresh pasta. straight in the frying pan.
Are they shallow fried or?
They're shallow fried, but they're done in quite a lot of butter.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not deep fried, but it's quite a lot of, you spoon the butter over as you fry them. So yeah. Oh, they're good, but that just stuck in my throat there. They are lovely though, aren't they?
They are very nice.
So I think they've saved the best to last, to be honest with you. These ones are sort of the same recipe, but they're both from the same manuscript, which is an English manuscript from around 1430. These ones are called Peternauntes, and these ones are called Peternauntes. And so they're both made with egg yolks, currants and ginger. But for this one, it's all mixed together. So these are like custard tarts more. And this one, you put in the egg yolks whole, and then you put the other ingredients over. So these ones will taste more ginger custardy and lovely. Mm-hmm. These ones, you'll see if you try one, you have a slight eggy hint to them because there's no egg yolks in them. Would you like me to cut you?
Yes, that'd be lovely. So you think these are going to be stranger for the modern palate?
Slightly stranger for the modern palate. If I was making these for a show, I think I would make the custardy ones. Although they're both, I love both of them, to be honest with you. So if I turn that one over.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Something that seems missing. Was cake around in the Middle Ages as we would imagine it today, or when did that come in?
Not really in the same way as you would, as we know today. So the gingerbread, as I say, it's not baked; it's just breadcrumbs. There's certainly no concept of cream your butter in your sugar and add your eggs and bake things in an oven so much. No, those were much more modern baking techniques. Certainly by the 18th century.
Yes, yeah.
We have a lot of cake by the 18th century. I would need to go back and see where they first started to come in, but there's very little like that. There's nothing really like that at all in medieval times. It's much more the sort of things that you see here, pastries and pies and sweet things. So
it seems very funny to me that cheesecake goes back further than what we consider regular cake today.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised when I started looking at more 18th century stuff at the number of cheesecakes, and I thought, well, I wonder if they're like little custard tarts, but no, actual cheesecakes, proper cheesecakes.
Well, I've seen Roman cheesecake recipes.
In fact, there is a medieval cavalcade.
Yes, we
medieval
had that
cheesecake,
at feasts in uni at the Shire.
But again, baked in a pastry case, so rather than your biscuit base. These are lovely. If I do say so myself.
They are. I feel like we should get a shot at the cross section before I eat it. I will say the two things on this table that do make my modern brain do a little double take is the horseradish and then the sugar covered egg yolk.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see how this tastes. I don't know, because the bite on the corner seems to be all egg yolk, so I think I should do something with more of a mix.
It's mostly sweet and sugary, but occasionally you just get a little taste of egg. It's not unpleasant.
No, not at all. It's nice. It's just very different.
I don't know how that would go down if I took these to a medieval show and fed them to reenactors. I'm not sure if the look of it is too odd.
I think you might get fewer members of the public asked to try.
That's true.
I think reenactors would be chill.
But it's strange, I think, that the two are in the same collection, in the same recipe manuscript, and they're so similar, and yet quite clearly different things. So I think we saved your favourite until the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are almond paste or marzipan, I guess, hedgehogs. These are from a German collection. These are 1460. And this was a part of a tradition of medieval food, especially again for elite people, of having surprise food, show food, if you like. It was known as Schauessen actually in German. Or things dressed up to look like other things, or just comical foods, and this is one of those. So if you excuse my fingers, I'm going to pass you over.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Almond paste hedgehog. The eyes are cubebs, so I don't recommend eating the eyes. I used cubebs because they're grains of pepper, but they have a tiny little tail on them. They have a little spike, so they're actually quite easy to poke in.
Look at him. I don't want to cut into him.
Well, I was going to say you were just going to cut his head off or cut him in half.
No, of course not. I wasn't thinking through this. This is emotionally devastating.
You have to bite his nose off. Yeah. Or her.
Oh
no. I mean, it's just marzipan. I'm just going to cut it in.
Oh no.
These could be flavoured with rose water. Marzipan was often flavoured with rose water, but these ones are not. And they could be dyed as well. You could dye them with saffron or with sandalwood, perhaps, to make them pink. It's lovely.
I was going to say, can you tell me a bit more about marzipan in the Middle Ages and how it was made?
So it is just a paste of almonds and sugar, ground almonds with sugar. Sometimes with flour. It was baked into a marchpane, which is a sort of stiffer. They were baked into discs, often with heraldic devices, and painted. They were very highly decorated. So it's not that unlike marzipan that we have today. Very, very similar. But used not just to cover your Christmas cake, used for much more highly decorative work in medieval times than we do today. These are almond slivers making up the spikes here as well. I've actually got some spare marzipan as well if you want to have a go.
I would love to.
Yeah? Okay, let's have a go.
I was going to say, from a modern point of view, it's quite easy to get ground almonds and sugar from the shops, but how much work would it have taken to make marzipan in the Middle Ages?
Oh yeah, it would have been really expensive and really difficult. Both the sugar and the almonds were imported. You know, almonds obviously are still imported. Generally, they're quite expensive. They were both imported, both expensive, and then you had to start from scratch to make your, grind up your almonds and mix them with your sugar. So yeah, this was really high status food for people that had servants to do all this for them, definitely. So it would have been difficult and it would have been expensive. But luckily, I got some I brought earlier. So if you grab yourself a bit of almond paste, a bit of marzipan, and you're just going to start, get it into a ball somehow.
My pottery brain immediately was worried about smashing in the corners to avoid air bubbles.
This is what I spent all yesterday doing. There or thereabouts. And then you want to just start sort of pinching a snout at one end and rolling however you fancy getting it into a sort of a hedgehog shape.
Mine is lumpy at the moment. I'm afraid I'm going to be too emotionally attached to eat mine.
So you want, I think that's roughly a hedgehog shape.
How did you do that so fast?
Because I made 6 yesterday. You're managing. Yeah, that's
Getting
it.
somewhere. I need to give him more of a snout.
Certainly a lot of marchpane decorations. You're familiar with Viandier, the food historian?
Yes,
he has on his site some lovely painted marchpanes. There was some sugar work, and there was sugar again was so expensive that the later really ornate things were probably less accessible in medieval times. A lot of things, like there's one that I really want to make for my page, which is a castle but made out of pastry pies. So you can have a marzipan one, and a pistachio nut one, a mincemeat one, pork pie in the middle, and it looks like a medieval castle. So these sort of totes, dyeing things funny colours. There are a lot of ones that I don't talk about online where putting live birds inside things and cutting them open. The 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie does come
That's a real thing.
Does come from a real thing, yes. There's quite a lot of. There you go. Yeah.
He's got a kind of chubby snout. Okay, what do we do next?
So what I do is I just tend to make a couple of little eye sockets, and then the cubebs are in the small dish over there. Like I say, you'll see that they're called tailed pepper for the reason.
Yeah. These, I think, are one we get less of in at least modern European cuisine.
Yeah, this is true. Although they were very popular in the 19th century in the States. Oddly, people used to smoke them.
Oh.
Cubeb cigarettes were a thing. They were thought suitable for women and potentially children to smoke.
Oh dear.
In 19th century America. Edgar Rice Burroughs said that without cubebs there would never have been a Tarzan. I seem to have made a bird skull on my hedgehog.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But yeah, in medieval times they were just one of the sort of variety of pepper that was used. They do have, if you've ever crunched one, I don't recommend it, after the spice there's a really long like eucalyptusy aromatic finish, but it'll last for a good hour.
So we're... What?
Yeah. It does, it really lasts. It's like in the breath freshener.
Huh. So did they have any effect when smoked, or like change the effect, or
I can't
was it just
imagine. No,
flavour?
I think it was just the flavour, that they were thought to be more mentally and less horrible than tobacco. I can't imagine they were that good for you.
Almond slivers?
Almond slivers, yeah. So these are actually a little soft. I blanched these almonds yesterday and chopped them up, and they're a little soft. But if you find some that are robust enough, you just stick them in.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Although the almond slivers are better than using flaked almonds because those just break.
Yeah.
So you just need to be like. It's like an episode of Blue Peter for people that are
Medieval Blue Peter.
Old enough to remember.
Could do badges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's not gonna work.
Oh no. This one's pushing in but not really staying.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, you could also, I guess you can make holes as well. You could make holes in your marzipan.
Yeah.
And then put your spikes in.
My problem right now is that the spikes don't seem to want to stay in holes because they're poking in and then they're coming back out.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're sticking to my fingers a bit. The sugar.
Slivered almonds is something, so these are whole almonds that have been cut into sticks rather than flaked almonds, which are slices.
Yes, yeah.
And if you look online, it says you can buy slivered almonds, but I've never seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you bought them pre-bought, whether they would be slightly more robust.
There was no chance of us getting through this video without me mentioning Menagier.
Yes.
I've seen people kind of talk about these as the, at least in form, ancestor of the modern German raw meat hedgehog.
This is a thing, indeed. Somebody mentioned to me, oh, you can make these with meat, and I went to look it up, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's raw. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
I've not tried the actual full proper Menagier, but I grew up with Metwurst, which is just the raw pork meat in a sausage casing that you spread on bread and then put raw onions on.
Okay, yeah, I'm not convinced. I don't mind a Libre first. There we go. It's a little, sort of, maybe just a punk hedgehog of some sort rather than...
I think mine is turning out a bit more voluminous.
Have you ever seen an axolotl? Yours looks like an axolotl.
Oh,
yeah, so cute. I think whatever your head. Oh, I've given him a dent in the side of the head now, so I'll try. So there, that's how you...
I think that's my hedgehog.
Yes. Lovely. Cute. Yes, so these will be making an appearance next summer, I think, on the Lord's table.
I was really excited about the idea of colouring them because I love pink so much, but have realised that would make them look like a raw meat hedgehog. From a distance, at least.
This is true. Although, yeah, we definitely could look at colouring them. If there's enough sugar and almonds, I wonder if you could use herbs as well to make green. Yeah. It would be sweet herbs would be nice. Some saffron for yellow, so we could definitely have some pink. I'm sure we could have some pink hedgehogs.
Yes, that would be so cute.
I know. So that's a sort of whistle-stop tour through some sweets and pastries. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Do you have a favourite of the things that you've made?
I love these little tarts, the ginger tarts actually, I really like them. They're quite easy to make, but also they taste lovely. Taste really nice.
They are.
Yeah. I like the appearance of these, but I couldn't eat a whole hedgehog full of marzipan, to be honest with you. They are fun though.
I will say that I've made medieval marzipan and just eaten it straight out of the bowl.
Really?
So I have no such favorites. I think my favourites are the marzipan hedgehogs and the gingerbread.
Fantastic, thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Excellent, thank you, it's been a real pleasure.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'll link my social media and Jenny's in the description so you can see more of the food that she's made. We'll be back soon with another video, but in the meantime, have a happy new year.